Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Mirana. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Bounty Hunter.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Monster Energy Dota Summit 13. We've got another great day of SA action coming your way, and we're kicking it off with Among Us versus Boom Esports. I'm Khezcute, great to be here casting for you guys, and we're already moving pretty quickly through the draft. Among Us are going to be bringing back this Bounty Hunter. It worked out well for them yesterday in, I think they only played the one series. They played one game of it versus TNC. That actually ended up working out pretty well for March. As I was saying, in that situation, he does seem to be fond of some of these quirkier position 5 heroes. He's been playing a lot of the Silencer and whatnot, but bringing it straight out with the Bounty Hunter right out of the gate this game. And Boom going to be going for the Mirana plus Timbersaw. This worked out really well for them yesterday. Actually, was it them that played this, or was it somebody else? Let's have a look here. This is the combination that they started with against Neon in that first game, and they actually ended up winning with that as well. Really nice. Hyde able to just move around with the Mirana, soak up some jungle farm, lob some arrows around the place, and the Timbersaw, of course, just going to sit in the lane and benefit from all of that solo experience. So it's not so much a laning combo, but I think it is a good position 3, position 4 combo to have together. And Among Us going to go for the Morphling. This is something that TNC, I believe, have been picking quite a bit, but they haven't really seen a whole lot of success with it. We'll just have to see if Among Us can do any better. And Boom, no strangers to this either. They also picked the Morphling yesterday against Neon. Dreamocel had an absolutely horrendous game, if you guys didn't manage to catch that one. I think he had 7 CS at 5 minutes or something. And then Yopaj on the mid Earth Spirit was just chasing him around the map constantly, really giving him a very, very difficult time. So we will just have to see if the Morphling ends up being a little better this time around. I imagine that the idea with the Morphling here is to go for the Ethereal Blade build, and just have that big nuke damage up against the Timbersaw. Heading into the next round of bans, of course, Among Us, they're going to be banning carry since Boom haven't picked one just yet, and Boom mostly just getting rid of annoying offlaners. Though I think a lot of these offlane picks and a lot of these, not these picks, but these bans are really focused on kind of protecting their Timbersaw pick. If you're going to go for a hero like the Timber in the first phase, I do think you need to do a little bit of, do your homework, lay some groundwork for him, just to make sure that he isn't getting too heavily counterpicked. Because of course they're going to pick something that can buy, you know, they're going to pick some silences, they're going to pick some stuns, they're going to pick something that can buy a vessel, but these heroes especially that we've seen banned out by Boom, I think give the Timber a very hard time, as Among Us going to go for the Crystal Maiden. So already showing us the... Actually, I don't even know if this is going to end up being their support duo then. It could even be like a 4 Maiden and a 5 Bounty. I mean, when March was playing the Bounty Hunter, he was actually... he was playing it in the off lane, I believe, from memory. So I guess a slight role swap overall, but A relatively passive early game from the two supports. Like, sure, Crystal Maiden's got a little bit of laning potential, but not really going to be rotating for runes or anything too much. And I don't know if they quite have the damage to bring down the Timber in lane, especially since they don't really have another support that can rotate in with more nukes. Like, sure, maybe if the Bounty Hunter's having a great time, he can have a relatively high level Shuriken toss, but I think Timber should still be looking all right here, at least for the early through the mid game. And Boom going to go for this Elder Titan, which they are really big fans of. I can't speak to their success with it necessarily. They lost with it versus Team Star. They did also win one game against Team Star with it, so it does seem something that they're enjoying trying out. I think for the most part it's just been position 5 from them, so I imagine that they're just looking at kind of looking for those, the arrow. Their catch is not really the most reliable in the world just yet, but that might still be mitigated by whatever the Mikoto hero ends up being here out of mid. If we get I don't know, an Ember, or he's pretty fond of the Invoker as well. Definitely one of his signatures, and could be a pretty decent game for it. You're going to get the relatively fast Vessel, just play Quaswex. The Void Spirit is pretty elusive, which is kind of annoying, but I think it could still be an alright grab here. They definitely need some building damage. They don't really have a whole lot of objective taking just yet. It's very kind of stally. You know, the Timber can spam waves, the Mirana can push waves, the Elder Titan also good with the Spirit and the Stomp at keeping the waves out, but they haven't yet grabbed anything that's really going to take advantage of all of that space and kind of be that big later game farmer. Though not clear exactly what that would be anyway. Could they go for to deal with the Morphling? I guess the other thing to mention about the Elder Titan, of course, is that the ET Aura is amazing against Morphling in terms of just completely negating all of his armor. You're very, very unlikely to buy any plus armor items on the Morph, so the Order is just going to absolutely destroy you. Very, very kind of classic combo, or classic counter. Oh yeah, Boom, I don't know what they go for. OD just doesn't seem like a great hero. I mean, they could try for it, but again, then I think they're still going to have really big problems with objective taking. The AM's already been banned. There is still a Puck, but then, you know, maybe still that same concern that they're not going to have too much true carry. Be an okay Storm Spirit game for Boom, but I'm not 100% sure that that's the kind of thing that they're going to be going for here.
Dire team ban. Templar assassin.
No, just a TA. Okay.
Radiant team
so ban. I think it is decent against the Morphling. If you're ever morphing strength to try and survive, then you just become a punching bag against all of the minus armor. The Among Us heroes, like I was saying earlier, you know, not necessarily the greatest ganky potential in the early game, so the TA should be able to just do standard TA things, farm it up between the neutral camp, shove out the mid wave. Doesn't really solve the catch problems that I was talking about, and we saw yesterday from Among Us that they are more than willing to just buy, like this is the game that they played versus TNC, they were more than willing to buy 4 force stabs and just like anytime somebody got hit by the Pit of Malice or a Rout of Atos that the Underlord in that game had, they just had bulk force staffs to get people away. So I worry a little bit about the lack or the unreliability of Boom's lockdown here. Maybe their carry will bring in a little bit more disable, but we will just have to wait and see. Oh, Viper and Sand King as the bans. I guess Boom not 100% decided on what they think the matchups are going to be, and they go for a Lycan. Okay, so they're really pushing the pace. Seems like the plan against the Morphling is just go fast, stay grouped up, don't give away too many kills to the Bounty Hunter with the track, and I think this could really work. Not a hero that I've seen a whole lot of recently, but definitely looks like a pretty good game for it. Among Us might now have to make some pretty serious adjustments to try and deal with this. So what could they go for? They still haven't picked their offlaner. There's still a Tide in the pool, which could be okay, but I feel like, you know, could still potentially die this game. The Timber's pretty decent in that regard. What else? And they do have other ways to do this, like they could stick the Void Spirit in the offlane if they really wanted to. The Lycan is definitely going to cop some harassment here, and the one thing that they haven't necessarily done, which I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of, is, you know, when we've seen this Elder Titan as the position 5 in some of the other games in this event, it has been with a ranged carry in the safe lane. So you're kind of making up for the fact that the Elder Titan is a melee hero. But with this setup, like I was saying before, they really want the Timber to, you know, kind of be soloing in the off lane, the Mirana to just be running around and taking camps with Arrow, and that means that the Lycan and the Elder Titan are going to have to be together in the safe lane. So I do think there's a little bit of an opportunity here for Among Us to just kind of punish that with a reasonably strong dual lane. But yeah, okay, so they go for the Tide. Plan very much going to be, look, if we take a fight, if Lycan's popped everything, everyone just run to the Tide Hunter, run to the belly, and hopefully they can, with the Anchor Smash and the Ravage, they can hold him back. So I think this game's looking really good for Among Us if we go relatively late, but, you know, Boom definitely looking to really pump up the pace here. Just take all of those early kills. Is this a jinx if I say this? It's pretty stormy here in Brisbane today. If the stream disappears, I have been knocked offline by a power outage or something. It shouldn't happen, likely, but I guess I'll just give that little disclaimer here at the beginning of the day. But looking forward to seeing Abed on the Void Spirit. As I said, I don't really see a ton of rotation potential from the Boom side, so should be a lot of free reign for March and Abed to move around. We saw xepher have some amazing games on the Lina yesterday. We'll see if he can have quite the same impact here on the other sister, picking up the Crystal Maiden. And I'm just interested to see who's playing in what lane, because I think putting the CM in the off lane might put a little bit more like kill pressure on the Lycan, but the Bounty Hunter to me seems a little bit more annoying in terms of just kind of constantly pinching that gold and slowing down his game a little bit. So
prepare for battle.
We will just have to wait and see how they end up playing this. It does seem like for now xepher going to be heading to the off lane, and March is going to be playing that safe lane with the Morphling. So they've at least kind of got another way to set this up compared to Boom, who I think are very much stuck with the lanes that they have. Looks like they are thinking about running Khezcute down here, at least initially, but I just don't know how long he can stick around. Again, the Timber doesn't want anyone touching any of his experience whatsoever. Just wants you to stay well clear. I believe over in the NA-SA region today, we had nothing but 2-0s. Yesterday for SEA was almost all 1-1s. We had Among Us versus TNC, Boom versus Neon, Signal versus Army Geniuses, and then the only 2-0 was Star versus Adroit. I do wonder if I'm maybe, like, Tide is so good late game, but the Elder Titan has proved to be this X factor in a lot of the games that he's been in. We saw the KP Elder Titan yesterday. Didn't end up winning, but was still very, very powerful, even with, you know, without a whole lot of net worth. So could see the same kind of thing from your position 5 ET here for Khezcute, but pretty good block for Mikoto. I believe we just had a 2-2 split on the bounties. There wasn't really any interesting brawling going on there at the start of the game, and we will just have to see how these lanes start out. I believe xepher starting with I thought he had double sentry, but it looks like maybe he's just got the one. Nothing's been blocked out or anything anywhere. And xepher not revealing his position just yet. Khezcute and Dreamocel seem to think that he was over in the trees on this side. Now getting gone on a little bit. They're sicking the wolves on him. xepher just going to try and stay with his tide for now, but it's going to get pushed all the way back in the lane. At bottom, FBZ opting for the point in the Whirling Death right at the beginning, as March is just chasing after Hyde, but they do both have boots. So March not able to just stay right on top of him. And Hyde, we've seen this from him before. He's been really effective when it comes to sniping these couriers on the Marana. Though this time around, it's actually Khezcute getting one, and he's going after the other. Don't know if he's willing to dive the tower for that one. So there you go. March is still just waiting to... You know, if you're the kind of guy that's sniping couriers as much as March is, you're definitely thinking about somebody else trying to snipe your courier. So Dream already has, as soon as he gets this next one, he's going to have more CS than Dreamocel did on the Morphling at 5 minutes yesterday. So goes without saying that is a much better start than what we saw. Do we have any big long item builds queued up anywhere? Morphling actually copping an arrow. They're taking a lot of damage. inyourdream getting sent hacking back, and it's actually a first blood at top as Khezcute gets brought down. Looks like just the gush plus the nukes from the Crystal Maiden gonna knock him down there. And March finds his first courier snipe of the game, does manage to scoot past and grab hides. And now looking to tax him a little more down here. Regen situation, I don't know if it's all that great in this lane. There's still a salve on FBZ, but that is about the limit of it. inyourdream just using the nukes to secure CS. I really don't think they have a whole ton of kill potential down here, but you know, March being a big nuisance. How is the mid lane going? Abed's kind of low and does seem to be struggling a little bit on CS, holding his own on the denies, and I believe his bottle is coming out to him shortly, but these side blades are nailing him. At least he's got the resonant pulse back up soon, but yeah, Mikoto is really giving him what for. Though I think for Abed more than anything, this lane is about, you know, just getting your experience, trying to claim a little bit of rune control, and then really hoping to move around the map, especially with the track, and just find ganks. Mikoto is just completely bullying him out of this lane. Here, March. Alright, has to go back for that CS, but FBZ gets the deny. inyourdream with the little side pull. Hyde is kind of low here. March is pinging it. He's about to crack level 3. How much mana does level 1 Shuriken toss? He's just got enough. Hyde's chasing after couriers. Leap. Might not even need to use another one. There you go. Well, March this time around. Hyde will claim his revenge. Courier battle continues. Kuku already has the full soul ring picked up. He's going to be buying a Vlad's. Nothing too shocking going on for the Tide Hunter early on here. And March is still just chasing Hyde around. Wait, did he arrow a camp or did he... Yeah, he arrowed the camp. I was wondering if he'd tried to hit Abed with the arrow, but... Nope, not so. Well, that does mean bottom lane is kind of a 1v1 for now. 19-3 up against the 13-2. March snags the regen and continues to chase. He really wishes that he had level 3. I think he might even have kill potential at that point, but just a bit too short on the experience. Khezcute looking for the pull. Just gonna get it. That's not stacked or anything, unfortunately. How is Dreamocel doing? So 19 CS, not too bad. Kuku is having total free reign up here as the Tide Hunter, though. This goes back to what I was talking about. There just wasn't really any other way for Boom to set their lanes. I'm still down with the Lycan pick in the sense of, look, it's going to play fast. It's going to give them the opportunity to maybe close this game out pretty quickly, but it's maybe a slight concern. Actually, the second point in Janata for March. It's a slight concern that they've had to deal with this double melee lane into the Tide, because Kuku is just going to keep being a bully this entire game. Oh, Khezcute, is this a triple stack? Oh, it's only a double. I hyped it up too much, but this is still a ton of farm for the TA. inyourdream a little low at bottom, just trying to sustain with the Morbid Mask. Hyde is in the neighborhood, but March coming down to scout it out as well. Do we have anything? Doesn't look like anything too interesting happened on the bounty runes there. It's really storming here, folks. FBZ, pressure. He's got the Orb of Venom, so A little bit of work. The insanely short-range arrow as March's courier is going to end up being brought down once again. At least he managed to grab his items off of that. But FBZ with these 3 points up in the reactive armor is just being a huge nuisance. Doesn't have Soul Ring or anything just yet. He's relying on mangoes for some mana sustain. They're chasing after March. They do have the double dust on Hyde, but I think unless they nail him with an arrow, it's not really gonna end up doing anything. And as the 6-minute rune spawns, it will just end up being Khezcute grabbing it. The stacks are still yet to be claimed, and they are making 100% sure that they are in control of this area. They've got an Obs plus Sentry combo. But Xepher's going to come over and check this out. He sees all of the stacks, and I don't know who he can call into position. Maybe once Kuku gets level 6, they can make some kind of a Ravage play to those stacks and try and steal them with the Anchor Smash. They really do not want to let the TA just have these for free. Mikoto's just getting his tread shipped out, so as soon as he has those, it's going to make it a little easier. But yeah, Xepher doesn't have a ward or anything, so all he can do is really just kind of nuke to get a little bit of information. Gonna try and swipe some experience out of this, but there was a trap waiting for him on the cliff, so I think instead he's just gonna be added to the farm total for Boom, even kind of wasting a fairy fire there. March also coming in, at least he snipes the courier. Trying to get the stomp onto him. Looks like the vision just kind of out of range there. So March still hanging around. Abed a little bit low on mana, but coming in anyway, and Kuku also making the rotation. They've got the Ravage, not the easiest to go onto Mikoto as they look for another stomp, but he's going to catch Kuku, but he immediately Kraken shells it off. Abed, however, not so lucky, and here comes the Chakram damage. Can he escape, dissimulate down onto the low ground? And the Kuku also trying for a TP out, but just barely gets finished off. Too much damage. March now getting caught. They have defended these stacks with their lives, and they're also going to claim 2 kills out of it. And I love the way that Boom played this. Just very careful. You know, they didn't let them scout it. They had the ward, they had the side trap, they had the 2 sentries. This was a huge portion of what Khezcute accomplished in the early game, so it was much needed that they made sure that they actually cleared these stacks themselves. Okay, so Tia's doing great. The game plan for Boom very much just like blink Deso on the TA, get the Necrobook on the Lycan, take the Roche, etc., get the push going, take 1 fight into Ravage. They might even go even and then just respawn, and then while the Ravage is on cooldown, they can just go from there. March is still scouting around. He's only level 3 currently, so not as good level-wise as that game that we saw against TNC, but he is on a complete courier spree. Is FBZ actually going to just send his all the way over to the tree line to avoid it? Yeah, they're pinging like they know that there's a ward here, so...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The one downside of a ward like this is that it's not really giving them any useful information on hero rotation, since Boom are, for the most part, just crossing the river as much as they want. And bottom tower already dead. Dreamocel's got the Necrobook back up in 10 seconds time, so I think they might just go straight over to mid. The pings are kind of coming that way, and FBZ and Hyde already moving into position. It's tricky for Kuku this game because I don't feel like he can really use the Ravage all that freely. Like I'm saying, if he ever uses a Ravage and it only gets them like 1 kill, then that's when Boom are just gonna go running immediately at a tower. And Dreamocel's even still just pressuring bottom. The glyph is gonna come out. FTZ's got max stacks currently, so not gonna be the easiest, but they're also gonna make a go onto him. A little bit of damage from that Whirling Death. Ravage also going to get popped. Can they finish the job? 2-man stomp. FBZ gets out of there, but the Timber Chain into the follow-up Whirling Death. Inyourdream makes the rotation, and they do get that kill. Oh, that would have been so bad if he had managed to get away, but only the 1 point in the Timber Chain, so there was really only so far he could go. Okay, so they get that at least, but Dreamocel knowing that, okay, Ravage is on cooldown, I can just do whatever I want down here. Mikoto is rushing the Deso. Doesn't really need the survivability from the blink, so this is definitely a farmier option. Abed just cruises on in here. It looks like he's going to grab both of these bounties. And Dreamocel actually just getting surrounded now. He's going to pop the ultimate to try and fight his way out. Abed needs to land the square. He actually managed to do it, and the nukes are huge. Among Us just bring him down.
Even to nothing.
Oh, well, he thought that he was safe with the Ravage on cooldown and playing all the way on this side of the map, but
Radiant's middle tower
turns out to not
attack.
be the case, and that is a really nice pickoff for them to get. Still, you know, the TA is scary, and they are still going to have to deal with that timing, but across the board, they're doing well. Net worth slightly in their favor, and the win probability has actually been liking them this entire time. Abed already with the full Spirit Vessel. Only the 2 charges, but this is probably one of the most like eco Spirit Vessel rushes I've seen on the Void Spirit for a little while. I feel like there's often, you know, he hasn't even got the full wand, he hasn't gone for a single null. Really wanted this vessel just as fast as humanly possible. But I think it's gonna pay dividends in these upcoming fights, and every little kill that they can get in these early fights, especially with the track, is going to be so important. And it does also mean that Boom, they can't be too, they got to be careful in terms of which fights they take, you know, which pickoffs they give away. They can't really be satisfied with just taking like a, you know, 1 for 1, 2 for 2. Because Among Us are always going to be kind of getting the advantage there. March may be realizing that there is a sentry in this area, but not the easiest for him to go and deal with that. Alright, deal with the trap first. Hyde's going to come over and just get rid of his sentry. What do we got? We got Necro 2 already up on the Lycan. As I'm saying, this timing is starting to come together. FPZ just going to be going for a hood, not necessarily all that farm. Kuku does have the Ravage back up in about 5 seconds time. So might be some fighting opportunity here for... And they are setting up for it right now. They've got pretty much everybody mid, but inyourdream is still off doing his own thing. Does just have the Manta queued up currently, which I find a little interesting. There isn't really that much to dodge or dispel. The extra damage instances sure are useful against the TA, who is now getting gone on. Mikoto getting dragged back in, doesn't have the refraction charges, gets it back up now, but it is getting worked through pretty quickly. Abed still diving for this kill. The Earth Splitter breaking up the fight. Kuku just gonna pop the Ravage to ensure that kill. Xepher finds a great opportunity to use the freezing field. He's not even dead just yet. Khezcute manages to avoid a few of those pops. Kuku still diving this tier 2 tower, doing some good damage, though looks like Abed should still be okay. 2 for 1 thus far, but Dreamocel is here to clean up. He focuses down March first. Abed just needs to survive for a second so he can get this next Astral Step off. Actually goes back in to try and get the Hyde kill. I guess realizing that he was going to get chased down by Dreamocel either way. There's just too much duration left on the shapeshift. So tried for the kill, didn't get it, and the Necro 3 proving its potency there. And Among Us actually end up losing the fight overall. Slight advantage their way for the gold, but with Ravage on cooldown, Boom have a pretty big window to just do whatever they want. And might even be able to go get the Roshan in this window, actually.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We'll just have to see. Mid tier 1's already down, so that kind of paves the way a little bit. inyourdream, gotta be careful. FPZ just keeping him on his toes. It is only the 2 points in the Whirling Death, so not the most ridiculous nukes in the world. But yeah, big question is going to be, when does this TA really start to enter the game? That death does slow her down pretty significantly. And it does seem like they're not keen to really do anything until they get this this Blink Dagger up and probably have the Lycan ulti back off cooldown. And Lycan ulti is really 125 seconds at level 1. Maybe there isn't as much of a window with the Ravage as you would like. FBZ, I mean, Zephyr's got the maxed out Frostbite, so it's going to do decent damage. But he's playing careful, seems to know that there's something going on here. He doesn't have any vision in the area, just has the sword. But has to know that our hero is playing on this top side. They're just parking Kuku at bottom to try and defend this tier 2 for a little while longer. Dreamocel still just farming down here, kind of the natural place for him to be. Is going to go for an Echo Saber as the next pickup, which is, I don't know, a little weird. I guess maybe you can go Silver Edge later on and that helps you kill the Tide or something, but it does strike me as a little strange. I thought he would have just gone for one of the aura items next. Oh, March. Well, he tracked Mikoto, who's looking for him, but it does seem like he'll get away with his life this time around. He's still on the courier hunting mission. They've done a pretty good job of stopping him really having any useful vision behind these towers. March having to start planting some pretty out there wards just to keep them on the map, especially against the Necro 3. Okay, so Ravage is up. Shapeshift is back up. Blink is on the TA. And where is the next play? FBZ's also got his Hood of Defiance, so I don't think there's really any items coming anytime soon for Boom. The Yules on Hyde is going to help solve some of those catch problems that I was talking about earlier, and March still just being such a pain in the butt. He snipes Dreamocel's courier. Mikoto is still looking for him. They hit him with the scan, hit him with the dust. Can they stay on top of him? Seems like they should be able to. March trying to salve to survive. Trusty shovel, not quite trusty enough this time. And okay, so they've at least dealt with that. And can they now get out on the map and actually do something? We've got the Manta on the Morphling. So okay, it's Manta and then back into Shotgun in this case. Still very, very useful item for them to have. Abed, man, every time I see Abed getting away with like the no Yules on Void Spirit, there's always some extenuating circumstances. Like this game, he has the Arcane Aura, so he can kind of get away with not having to buy a mono region item. And then yesterday, I think he was playing the Void Spirit. I think that was Abed, and also didn't have to buy like a who's dead? Kuku? Hello? A couple of auto attacks. I don't think the Mirana auto attacks are gonna kill him. No, actually ends up surviving. And then in that game, he had like a jelly and an arcane ring, so it was not the fairest comparison, but okay. Kuku survives, not even forced into using the Ravage. Almost has the money for a Blink Dagger in a second as well. Abed is in super deep here. What is he up to? All right, just cutting this wave. Boom, not going to be able to push mid as a result. Does seem like they've got their sights set on this bottom tower, and with a couple of TPs on cooldown, might be a bit tricky for Among Us to get down here, but those heroes are both walking into position. They're being scouted by this Dire Observer Ward up on the cliff, but March knows about it and he's going to deal with it quickly, so they can keep going for this, but the tower is just melting way too fast, and instead the line's being drawn by March, marking mid, marking top, plane's pushed out, and we'll take our next opportunity once the Tide has his Blink Dagger, presumably. Abed still cutting waves at mid, but he's going to get Yuled up. If they can land this arrow, it should be a very easy kill. Was not expecting that catch from Hyde. And now dead for 40 seconds. Maybe Boom with a little bit of an opportunity here. Though Dreamocel not really anywhere nearby. Still just sitting on top of 2.3k gold. Yeah, and both teams are already... They're already thinking about the Roshan. They know that this is the big... This is going to be the big objective that really decides this game, how these Roshan fights play out, if they can win a fight around the pit. Both teams are pretty capable of taking the Rosh, especially with Morphling going for this more physical damage-oriented build. They have kind of gone for double medallion here. It's not the worst thing in the world, but maybe a little bit of miscoordination there from Among Us. Nobody going for a 4-staff or anything. I talked it up during the draft, but seems to not be a priority this game. And I would say in terms of timings, Boom still definitely the ones kind of leading the way. He did actually go for the Echo Saber. All right. FBZ gonna get the second Yules. Khezcute is just trying to buy a medallion. Gonna help make that Roshan just a little bit easier. Hyde actually gonna go back for a pretty late earn, but even if it's late, still going to be some nice sustain for them once they get this push going. Does everybody have... We don't even have all the tier 2 neutral items on the side of Boom just yet. Need to take a second to clear those up. They do have some Ancients to grab. Some pretty decent ones so far. Some really nice stuff for Among Us, actually. The Essence Ring for the Tide, Aquila for the Morphling, another Shawl for Void Spirit. So not going to be about that, and Xepher might even just grab himself this Faded Brooch, and they'll be happy too. Okay, so how does the Roshan fight play out? I can't imagine that Boom want to just walk in there. They can kind of come over. So the tricky thing is that they can come over, they can pop the Necrobook, they can sweep the high grounds for wards, and then they can kind of play this game of threatening that they're in the Roshan, but not actually being in there. The most important thing for Among Us is that they can get a track on somebody, and then that'll give them a little bit of extra information about what the Roshan status is. But it does seem like we're starting to move into a Roshan battle already. Khezcute getting gone on first. Arrow trying to protect him, but inyourdream already nukes him down. Hasn't used the waveform. Got to be a little careful. Hyde poking and prodding from the side. Mikoto was just trying to grab those last couple of neutral items for the team. And it does grab the Imp Claw, so that's going to be pretty decent damage. And Among Us with the cross-map smoke. Boom, they seem to... I think they may have spotted this, and they think that it's heading into the Dire jungle, but actually heading over towards the triangle. And FBZ, not the best timing on that Timber Chain usage. Just instantly going to get popped, as now Among Us heading straight onto the tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So, okay, they're going to pressure the side lanes, try and force them back there. I don't think Mikoto is really going to threaten the high ground.
Dire's
and
middle tower has fallen.
Blink away and TP is not really a reliable strategy unless he knows exactly where the bounty hunter is. So, yeah, he's just going to have to let the wave push and then chill. Geek Fan thinking, can we get this? Hyde going to get tracked up. He does have 2 more leaps. Gush. Well, he heals up the bounty hunter, but inyourdream hot on his tail, and this is going to be a nice easy kill. Quick 3-man track, and Among Us, can they get anything more? Abed still just being a nuisance, constantly shoving out this mid-wave, not letting it cross the river. And yeah, Among Us into the pit they go. If they can just claim this Roshan for free, that would be huge. There is a wolf, who immediately gets dealt with. Abed still just chasing after Khezcute, creating a distraction while his team goes for the real objective. He does still have an astral step, so gets that bit further away, gonna try and dissimulate his way up onto the high ground. Actually fakes them out, but gets trapped, not in the best position. Does keep Mikoto away for a moment. The Roshan actually not going down all that quickly. And now with Abed dead for 45 seconds, Boom can clean this up very quickly. The courier trying to scout, but it actually just gets side-bladed down. Holding this high ground. FPZ getting poked at, but Mikoto's got a 10-second BKB, so he doesn't care. He's just going to go straight in. Kuku hanging on to the Ravage. Can't afford to use it too early on in this fight. Crystal Maiden a little bit low on mana. Xepher getting gone on. He does have a Ghost Scepter to survive. Still poking and prodding at Kuku. Dreamocel has used the ultimate. The Ravage comes out at the last moment. Xepher jumps in, trying with the freezing field, but he ends up killing the Necrobook, and that just obliterates him. 2/3 of his HP disappears. And Boom now going to run for the pit. No worries whatsoever with the Ravage down. They're going to buy back on the Crystal Maiden. Among Us, which is not what they were hoping for when they made that initial move into the Roshan pit. Abed trying to get in there, but no, not going to be in time. Lycan picks up the Aegis, and now Boom just hoping that they can retreat cleanly out of this fight. And it seems like they're going to get out with no casualties whatsoever. And they've got bottom lane pushing in a great way. They've got mid lane pushing in fantastically. Still very close on the numbers. Net worth experience a little bit more in Boom's favor. But finally, the win probability.
Illusion.
I'm going to start seeing the momentum that Boom have. Though their timing is only so long. You know, once the TA BKB starts to wear down, really know how much more they have after that. inyourdream has opted not to go back for the E-Blade, actually. Just wants the full Scotty. Is a really nice item to have against a hero like the TA. And Kuku also going to be going for the Heaven's Halberd here. So once those two are up, I think it is going to change things significantly, but those items are still a little ways away, and Boom's moment is right now. They've actually got the shapeshift back up in 5 seconds time. Still a minute to go on the Ravage, so plenty big window for them here as they push in on the top lane. Abed just dealing with mid, desperately trying to finish up this Aghanim Scepter. It's going to both give him a little bit more survivability and a bit more control in these upcoming team fights, which really feels like they need against this Timbersaw especially. Does he even have any vessel charges? Oh, he's got one. Yeah, but everybody on Among Us is sort of here to watch this tower defense. What do we got going on? There is actually still a bounty over here at bottom. Abed's going to be pretty happy to come and find that. All right. Hyde. All right, you got the urn. Now he's just going back for a mech. So you can very much see that the idea is, look, we just need some push sustain, if at all possible. Mikoto is going to be going for a Hex. The Silver Edge strikes me as a very weird choice. Like, yes, it's good at killing Tide Hunter, I guess, but playing against the Bounty Hunter, Kuku trying to TP out, but he just gets immediately Yuled. He's still getting chased. I think FPZ can finish this kill, and Mikoto also finding March elsewhere on the map. Among Us getting picked apart here. He does get the blink away. Khezcute, I think, could have maybe canceled that, but never you mind. Man, Mikoto is actually getting towards this Hex really quickly. And making the move over. FPZ kind of in no man's land with no mana either. Going to try for the Timber Chain away, but Abed's still right on top of him. So Among Us claim a kill. Can they all get out cleanly is going to have to be the question. inyourdream heading into the tree line. Kuku does have the Ravage, but Dreamocel's in here with the Shapeshift popped. Among Us just hiding in the trees. Kuku got to be a little careful. Hyde walks forward straight into the Morphling and just gets blown the heck up. And now with the Shapeshift starting to wear a little bit thin, they're actually getting caught on the way out. Unfortunately, no tracks for Among Us. Could have maybe waited for March to get into position there, but triple kill for inyourdream, and this Morphling really starting to find some momentum. Aegis is still up for another minute and a half, but I mean, like an Aegis, it's not really that useful, fortunately. So I guess it's got to be Hex then go. Too much more waiting, and I think you're going to start running into problems. Kuku has changed his mind again in terms of the itemization. Is not going to be going for the Heaven's Halberd, which I think would have been really good. And we'll just be opting for the Shivas instead. Lycan has picked up that full Silver Edge, flying out to Dreamocel in just a moment. And now we do start to see the beginnings of these 4 stabs on Among Us. March is going to be picking one up. And xepher also has one queued. And they've also got the Ags. So a couple of very nice timings, and we'll just have to see how good this Silver Edge actually ends up being. xepher getting gone on. Kuku jumps forward, trying to protect him. Does get saved by the Ghost Scepter for now, but the Hex comes through, and that is a very dead Crystal Maiden. So sight set on the mid tower. You probably want your CM alive. I don't think you really defend this. Looks like Abed gonna go pushing out bottom. We'll need to come back and maybe grab some mana. No, actually, okay, he's coming back. That seems like they want to make some kind of a fight of this. They have eyes on the Morphling, and Boom just waiting up here on the high ground. Gonna let Dreamocel do the heavy lifting. Doesn't have the Ravage for all that much longer, but at least has the Shapeshift. They're pinging that the Tide is missing. They're aware of the fact that, look, there could be a Blink Ravage at any moment. Gotta play this in a disciplined way. Be ready with our Yule Scepters to try and disengage. They will just get out. Okay, but Among Us maybe making the somewhat unexpected play, just gonna go for the immediate smoke and running deep here. They don't really have any vision to speak of, so I guess they were just hoping that they might catch somebody cutting the top wave or something like that, but since it is really pushed out, so I don't think it would have been a crazy play at all for Boom to have like 2 heroes here and then somebody came over here to just quickly cut this wave as it was getting pushed, but instead of risking a hero, they're just using the side traps to do that. So been 1 step ahead, and they've got a great ward along with the Moonlight Shadow leading them directly towards Among Us. They don't see them up this hill. Catch a glimpse of Kuku now. inyourdream as well, also moving across. They can kind of pincer them with the outpost a little bit. inyourdream, the first one spotted. March, good vision up on the high ground, but Hyde going to deal with that immediately. Both teams poking, prodding, posturing, looking for their opportunity. Mech getting delivered for Hyde. Mikoto, I mean, with a 9-second BKB, and this Hex should be able to obliterate anybody in this upcoming fight.
Tower is under attack.
There is still a little bit of control to deal with him. Kuku again changing his mind and going back for the halberd being queued up here. He does have a lot of unspent gold. Maybe he'll grab the talisman.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What's the plan? No, okay, so he still has the halberd queued up, but he buys the plate mail. Boom, just slow sieging at top. Is everybody just looking for neutral items now? Yeah, alright, we got a little neutral item break. They got all the tier 3s on Boom. Among Us a little bit slower this time around in grabbing all of theirs. And kind of looking like the next Roshan is going to be the big explosive objective for this game. March still not quite level 12, so they don't have the benefit of that extra track. FBZ comes in. Man, this guy's got a lot of armor, especially with the craggy coat. And he's not done either. Wants the Lotus Orb after that. Lycan going to BKB next. And the TA, I think, having seen the Morphling going for this butterfly, is going to be going for the MKB. And, you know, MKB is the best right-click item in the game at the moment, it feels like, so I don't think anyone is all that shocked to see that getting picked up. Boom with another smoke, but Radiant Scan is going to reveal that some of this is going on. There is not a single ward on the map for Among Us currently, so just relying on scouting from their bounty hunter and playing together as a team for the most part. There's hardly any buybacks available in the game currently either, and they're sitting right on top of this observer where they get the hex, but they don't get the follow-up arrow, so inyourdream's going to be okay. One step backwards, Boom just going to have to reset, and Mikoto wastes no time, just goes for the BKB and the straight TP out. They were hoping for the super fast pick on the Morphling, but as soon as they, well, one, he hexed him and then like took another second to walk around the tree to get the first auto attack off. And they didn't get the arrow off immediately, so pretty ill-fated. And now with the BKB on cooldown for another 40 seconds for the TA, Among Us feeling somewhat empowered to come and make a play, though it's pretty much max Roshan respawn, so no one really going to be benefiting too much from that one. Are we still one neutral item short on Among Us? No, they got everything. They just picked up that Quickening Charm as well. Okay. So, pretty nice stuff. Quickening Charm for the Void Spirit, Paladin Sword for the Morphling. He's got the full Butterfly now, and you know, MKB is coming fast for the TA. Mikoto's net worth is still amazing, but it'll still take him a little longer and has to think about, hey, is buyback something I still need to be considering at this point? Dreamocel still one component away from the BKB, and Kuku changes his mind again, and it's not even the Shiva, it's just an AC instead. All right. Very indecisive. Abed wants the Shivas instead, so there you go. That's where that's going to end up being. I do think Boom could play this a little bit more aggressively if they had another offlaner than the Timber, but you know, not really all that easy for them to set up kills. A lot of that is where this Hex is coming from on the TA, but should still be all right for them in these fights. We'll just have to see if they start getting kited once the BKBs wear down. March is going to go for a Linken's. Khezcute, a little bit off the money there with the stomp. I think it's going to take him a very long time to get this Linken's. He's even just rocking the Vampire Fangs currently. I think more for the vision than anything else. Oh, all right. Hyde is dead. Abed making quick work of him, and actually picking up a gem on the side of Among Us as well. So, like I showed earlier, you know, they don't have a whole lot of warding going on, so anything to reclaim a little bit of map control, and they could honestly lose the entire game off of just a wolf scouting them as they go for a smoke. So I think very important that they've got this gem picked up. Man, and Abed's got an arcane rune as well in his bottle. Okay, you don't want to fight that. Does Dreamocel have the BKB? Not quite. Very, very close. I guess that has to kind of be the timing. Do have that full MKB up for the Templar Assassin. Roshan spawned and Boom just kind of taking a nap over by the shade of their tier 2 tower. They're not coming over just yet. And with the minus armor, Among Us actually able to bring this down pretty quickly. FBZ coming over. He might be the first one into the fray, but it's just a little too late. Aegis is already being claimed. He walks straight into the silence. So just going to keep on getting auto attacked down by inyourdream. Dreamocel popping everything. The Ravage connecting on basically nothing. As Dreamocel going to keep on going for Kuku. Not sure if the Tide's really all that important to target. Who else can they find is really going to have to be the question. March tanking for inyourdream, throws his body on the line for the president, but he was morphing the wrong way there, and now Boom just waiting for him on the respawn. Gets absolutely annihilated. I don't even think the Earth Splitter went off, but the Natural Order, he just got destroyed. Well, looked like a decent start to the fight, and then all of a sudden they just lose 3 out of nowhere, and now Boom are the ones marching straight down mid. They do have a buyback at least on the Morphling, and a glyph. They might just have to use it, but I don't even know how they start the fight. It needs to be some kind of a catch, and then I suppose go from there.
Radiant's middle tower
Hex.
is under attack.
Xepher playing a dangerous game with the positioning.
Radiant's middle tower.
Tier 3 down already. Tide respawning soon, but even if he respawns, still 80 seconds to go on the Ravage. So I think Boom can still just hang around here. Abed's off trying to grab his Shivas. Quick little shopping trip, and now coming back to the base to try and take this next team fight. It's already been used, and Boom, I think, could easily just back themselves up if they wanted to, but gonna pop the shapeshift and just keep on working. Abed dealing with the mid wave. 8 seconds to go on the Morphling respawn. Can they catch them on the way out here? Zephyr's got the blink. He's looking for it. 4 steps forward, but couldn't quite catch with the frostbite. Well, next Ravage is gonna have to do some work for them. Where did the cheese end up? All right, cheese is in the backpack of the Morphling. He's just going for a BKB next. Morphling not having a very fun time in this tournament. I haven't looked up the overall stats, but I feel like he is... between the fact that TNC have lost 2 or 3 times with him, and Boom lost yesterday, and I mean, let's not sugarcoat it too much. This is kind of looking like a loss for Among Us currently. Yeah, maybe poor old Waterman is not having the best time. But there's still some potential here for Among Us to bring this one back. But, you know, TA is very stacked. Lycan even now able to get back pretty close into the AC. I doubted the Silver Edge, but the way that Dreamocel with the Silver Edge and the BKB is actually just able to like force the Ravage out of the Tide is pretty cool. It does almost make me wonder if Kuku needs, like, you don't want to buy this on Tide, but if he almost just needs a Ghost Scepter so that he can buy a little bit more time. But even that might not really help all that much. And with no Aegis or anything to be claimed for a little while, I think Boom just grab some more farm, finish up another round of items, and they don't have any wards down to play around currently. But that might change. They might look to just take over this bottom side, since mid and top are both going to be kind of pushing naturally the whole time. Smoke from Among Us, so they don't really see anything currently. Abed's off on a little bit of a dewarding mission. They do see that Dreamocel is down bottom now, so hoping to find somebody elsewhere on the map, but Boom. Just moving in to start sieging bottom, it looks like. Not doing anything too crazy. Morph gets the BKB, but we'll see if that's actually going to end up helping him all that much. They really need to kill the Elder Titan in these fights. Feels like Khezcute has been able to break things up pretty effectively. And you can't afford to let the Elder Titan get anywhere near your Morphling. The natural order is just way too scary. We do have tier 4 items coming out now, so we'll just, we'll show the neutral item tab for a second. Leveler, Prince's Knife for the Radiant. Magic Lamp, Illusionist Cape for the Dire. Pretty good. They've also got a Magic Lamp. Alright. I don't know how happy they are about that, but Mikoto is eyeing his prey at mid. But seems like no big rush. They're pushing the net with advantage. They've got better control over the map currently. They do have the level 25 on the TA as well. That's actually very scary. And Morphling only level 21 currently. Still just going kind of full right-click build. Gonna go for the Satanic next. Very defensive. But we've seen him had some problems with survivability so far, so I think it makes sense. Xepher not really able to pop off on the Crystal Maiden in the same way that he was able to on the Lina yesterday. Like the Lina just gets way more farm. I think probably does a little bit more with the farm. I totally get the Crystal Maiden pick. I think the Arcane Aura has been super useful for the team this game, but just maybe not quite that same level of fight impact as having the the Ags Laguna or anything like that. He's trying. You know, he's got this Blink plus Ghost Scepter, so he's really looking for that opportunity when the Ravage comes out to just go blinking in and hopefully clean up 2 kills or something. Not necessarily so easy in practice. And now Mikoto has a full Daedalus on top of everything else. Oh, God. And with the Meld Bash, he is just going to melt heroes. How many 4 stabs we got? 1 and 2, right? I don't think. Hyde's the one with the leveler currently. We got Shaco on the Void Spirit, and Morphling still rocking this Paladin Sword for now. It does look like we're just going to see another Roshan, really. Ping, Khezcute is thinking about it as well. He's like, yeah, Roshan ping, let's just get that. I don't think they've actually... Have they had an Aegis? Oh, they had an Aegis on the Lycan, which actually didn't end up really doing anything. But so they got the first one. Among Us got the second for... all of 15 seconds. Roshan number 3 coming up. If it ends up being a refresher shard or something for the Tidehunter, that could easily be the thing that starts to turn this game back around for Among Us. FBZ waiting over here on the bounty runes, just about to spawn, does grab it. Arch still scouting everybody in the neighborhood. Nobody's even going for these other bounties on the other side of the map. Maybe they'll head over that way now, but... I'm feeling confident to move forward. Still has the Yules and the Lotus to use defensively if he gets gone on. And we've got, oh man, another Hex. I haven't even been keeping an eye on FBZ's farm, but you know, he is a Timber, so still going to be soaking up plenty off of the map. And Among Us kind of looking forward. I don't know if they've spotted Dreamocel just yet. They catch a glimpse of him, but they've just tracked up the illusion for now. FBZ comes around the corner. They do see that Hyde is at bottom. They have pretty good intel, but it's just not easy to start the fight. They walk up onto the high ground. Mikoto gonna get jumped on with the immediate Ravage. Can they focus him down in time? Can he get the BKB out? He can't. Abed with the follow-up lockdown. Among Us just like that. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they burst down the TA. They get a follow-up kill on the Timbersaw. Roshan's still a minute away. But might even be able to grab that. Neither of these heroes has buyback. Hyde, okay, the flicker is going to help him a little bit. Abed's still chasing, but doesn't have any astral step left. So, yeah, inyourdream straight over to the pit. There's a free little dust on the ground for whoever wants it. Is anyone going to grab that? All right, probably not. So, well, gotta try and hold out for a moment, I suppose. I don't think they're going to lose too much. They do have Glyph, and they've still got all their tier 2s, but Morph is starting to get pretty scary, and I don't really feel like Lycan is really scaling all that much. Like, sure, he's got the AC, which is nice and everything, but this is starting to get to the point of the game where the Ravage is just so devastating.
Dire's structures are fortified.
This is what, Ravage is back up in 80 seconds. So not going to be that much of a window after these guys respawn to actually make any plays. They're scouting the Roche with the Courier, and they do see that there's an Aghanim Scepter there. If they can go and claim it. Tier 3 dead. Fills him up. Hyde looking for the arrow. March once again. Get down, Mr. President. Keep him nice and safe so that they can just clean up this lane of Rack. Still 15 seconds to go on those 2 cores, so they can't really take this fight. Dreamocel's thinking about it. Top Rex, actually, did that just get cleaned up by these catapults? It looks like it may have, so Abed gonna have to go and deal with that damage over there. Who's got buyback? We got a lot of buybacks, folks. And actually, Outpost not gonna end up being claimed. March coming over. Sentry down. Hyde's managed to catch him. Could be the first kill to start off this fight. Does he have a buyback? He does. And might be forced into using it. The Courier's already inside of the pit. I don't know where he can position it to avoid it just dying to the TA, but all right, he buys back. And this is now really going to be the fight for the game. Ravage is back up in 20 seconds, so if Boom can claim it before that point, that would be the ideal for them. It's just up to Among Us to see if they can slow this down long enough. Maybe throw some bodies on the line. It's dying pretty quickly. Alright, Aegis, Cheese, and the Aghanims picked up. It's actually the Templar Assassin with the Aghanims. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Maybe gonna come jumping into this fight in a moment. They're focusing under the tide. Kuku gonna get four-stepping up on the cliff. That might be an okay place for him to be, though. Abed fighting this out. The Ravage doesn't connect onto anything. Abed still going with In Your Dream, looking very healthy. They have managed to bring down Mikoto the once, and now they continue to turn this fight. Khezcute getting sent packing as Hyde now getting auto attack down. Dreamocel just manages to TP out. Why is the Aegis on the Lycan? Is Khezcute dead? Yeah, he's tracked. He's gone. Kuku and March gonna make quick work of him. They've even got a wave still alive here at mid that they can push with. No buyback for the TA yet again. Dead for 70 seconds. At least there's still tier 2s in both of the other lanes, so they're not gonna lose the lane of Rax instantly, but the TA just doesn't seem to be getting the chance to push her buttons. I am shocked that they won that fight so hard, even with the Ravage hitting absolutely nothing. But there you go. I guess the Void Spirit with his Hex and the Morphling are both very, very strong at this point.
Dire's bottom tower.
A high Grundy will go. A high Grundy will go. Still 40 seconds to go on to respawn. FPG getting gone on. Nuke down. Can he get his spells off? Can he get his items off? No, he's just dead. Dead for 90 seconds. They're not even going to get a full 5-man fight at this point. Among Us, they can't get the last remaining lane of Rax, but I don't think it matters. They're just going straight forward onto the tier 4s and not going to get that stomp off from Khezcute. In Your Dream makes quick work of him, and now Hyde also hexed up. Can he escape? Yule's mech, and he's got the magic stick. Should be able to make it back into the fountain. Boom. Just waiting for this TA to respawn. March has gone back to try and deal with the wave. I don't know. I guess they have to fight. They can't really try and make a rat play. Some BOTs or anything. Speaking of BOTs, March is picking some up. Wants to rejoin his team shortly. 40 seconds to go on the Ravage. Dreamocel coming in. Don't think he really wants to focus on the Tide Hunter. He wants Xepher first, but Abed just forces him away. In Your Dream getting gone on great four-step. Gets him out of range of the arrow, and now he can just turn around and start man-fighting. Mikoto locked down and dead. Dead for 100 seconds. And with that, Among Us pulling it back from what looked like the jaws of defeat, and we'll be taking this first game. Boom just hit a wall. It really didn't. It felt like they were doing great. They were doing great. They hit all of these item timings, and then they lost their nerve, or they felt like they couldn't just walk up onto the high ground. I guess they felt that they were farming nicely. That one pickoff on Mikoto
Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Behold the horn of Magnus.
Seconds remaining.
Everybody, it's my pleasure to welcome you back to the Monster Energy Dota Summit 13 online. We've got some more SEA action for you here with Game 2 of Boom Esports versus Among Us. These are all 2-game series. There's no best of 3s. We're just here in the round robin group stage, and we're going to be going with the round robin group stage until the 2nd of November. In terms of current standings for these teams, Among Us are now 7-2, and I believe Boom are now 4-3. That's good enough to put both of them among the top 4. And in terms of format, we do have ourselves top 4 going through into the upper bracket of playoffs. Bottom 4, so 4th through 8th, going to be going into the lower bracket, and then 9th and 10th will be eliminated from the competition. Great day of SEA Dota coming up for you, but you can go have a look at the schedule. It was on screen during the break. Let's focus in on this game here. Boom are going to be banning out the bounty hunters, so they thought March was annoying enough in the previous game. A little bit of a respect ban to FBZ's Timber as well there, as Among Us are going to go with a Magnus plus Lina. And the Boom answer is going to be the Shadow Demon. So I like the Shadow Demon against the Magnus. Gives you some save against the RP. The continuous purge from the ulti is always going to be good at removing the Empower from whatever carry is on the enemy team. And also just in general, the Shadow Demon is quite good at kiting these melee cores, which are the kind of thing that you're going to be looking for when you've already picked the Magnus, right? Magnus is melee, he's going to be doing his thing. Plus, you definitely want somebody who's going to be benefiting from the Empower. As Boom haven't really been able to get their hands on this Drought Ranger all that much, so they will just make their stand now and pick it up in the first phase. So a little bit of a gamble. The Shadow Demon is a defensive support, though maybe not as reliable as the Vengeful Spirit when it comes to saving somebody like the Drow. And now Boom just going to do some groundwork to kind of protect their Drow range a little bit. So we get the PA banned out. I guess you don't really have to ban like a Slardar or anything. I'm not even sure 100% what Among Us are going to be doing with this Magnus, like in terms of where they've been playing it. I will see if I can pull that up for you guys here. Let's just have a... But Tide is the ban. Could see Among Us trying for like a Bat Rider or something if they can get that through into the pool. That seems like another fairly likely ban. And actually, is this the first time that Among Us have played Magnus? Like maybe it is.
Radiant team ban. Dire team
Let us
back.
check. You know, in fairness, this particular incarnation of the roster has not played very many games, and yeah, this is actually their first game of Magnus. We will just have to wait and see how this goes. Spectre is the other ban? Okay, so just mostly focusing on the carries that can get in on top of the Drow Ranger. I don't know if they'll bother banning anything like the Faceless Void. Sure, he's a jumping carry, but also the silence is pretty brutal against the Void, so
Radiant team
maybe
back.
not a consideration, but I do worry a little bit if you're just going to let Kuku have whatever he wants, because they certainly can run the Magnus mid or something. And also, look, I wouldn't put it past March to play like a position 5 Magnus either. Like I've been saying, this guy's a little bit of a madman when it comes to the position 5 heroes currently. So
5 seconds remaining.
this is a very important ban for Boom. I think they could certainly live to regret whatever they end up banning in this spot. Okay, they banned the Void as well. I think you can kind of deal with the Void, but I guess didn't feel confident enough. What are they going to go for? Do they just go for like a Tusk here? It's another save. Gives them a tiny bit more front line for the Drow, because I think that's always the most important thing with the Drow Rangers. You really want you need some beef. Gotta put some heroes in front of the Drow Ranger so she can just sit there and auto attack and do her thing, and give vision for the Drow to know how she should be positioned in the fights. There is of course always the temptation to be like, well, we have Drow, so we should pick some ranged heroes so we can make use of the benefit there. But I think the Drow does plenty of damage by herself. I think it's just important that you have those vision providing heroes. They're thinking about it. What else? I mean, they can pick ET if they really want to, but okay. Clockwork is kind of in the same vein. Good position 4 against these two heroes that we've seen so far from Among Us. We have seen how potent Zephyr's Lena can be, so if they just send the Clockwork in to pressure on him and force him into buying some items like a Force Staff that he might not otherwise really want to, I think this looks good, and now they can just fish for a little more information from the Among Us side, who I don't know if they're going to give away too much. They may not opt to pick a position 5 straight up here, though. Again, I still think I've got this inkling, I've got this feeling that the March Magnus might be coming. It's not backed up by any rhyme or reason. Okay, and with that, maybe that's the end of that theory as the Treant Protector gets grabbed. So probably just Treant for March, likely playing very similarly to the Bounty. And they are going to have some pretty good, I would say, stall, I guess, here, just between the Lena can spam waves, the Magnus can spam waves, the Treant can spam waves. So it does seem like Among Us might be kind of going for the inevitability angle, just having the sort of guaranteed win in the late game, not really having to make any big plays or any big decisions, just defend your buildings, heal them up, take fights when they come to you, and it's looking like Boom are going to be the ones under pressure. There was a time where 3 Treant Protector was kind of popular, but I don't know if that's going to be if that's really much of a thing anymore. It felt like that meta really went hand in hand with the everybody buys Necrobook meta, which I think we have maybe gone past that for a little while now. But Boom, they're thinking. They're like, what do we want to do to deal with this Spectre? They're going to pick the Batrider. Okay, nice. I don't think that's too out of left field, but... So again, here's the thing. I think the Batrider is good here. It's like, you can go and find the Magnus, and you can lasso him, and you can find the Treant Protector and kill him if he's trying to cut your waves. But it's not frontline. And currently Boom have... I would tentatively say that they have no frontline currently at all, which is pretty worrying. They can still run like the Bat in other lanes, and they could still pick something like a Kunkka or something for mid to maybe be that little bit beefier, a little bit more of a frontline hero. What else? There's still like a Dragon Knight. I haven't seen a Dragon Knight in a little while, actually. But Ricky is the grab for Among Us, so there's your mobile Empower using carry. They still found something in the end anyway. Among Us have an interesting read on this. They are looking like they're expecting Batrider to go mid, and that Boom are still looking for an offlaner. I think this could go a number of
10 seconds
different ways,
remaining.
so we'll just have to wait and see.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know what else FBZ is going to play. With you look down the list of bans from Among Us, and they have gotten rid of a lot of offlaners. So Storm is the ban. I guess in that case they're thinking Magnus off for Kuku. Yeah, I guess that works. Magnus Lena sounds fine. Ricky Tree in the safe lane, or it could be, you know, Tree Magnus in the off lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Ricky Lena, something like that, and then whatever Abed wants to play mid. They don't have the counter pick or anything here. There's still a Void Spirit. Void Spirit looks okay. I've actually seen Void Spirit have a very tolerable matchup against Batrider somehow. I have no idea how that's been the case, but the hero seems to actually do somehow okay, or like just even in that lane, which is fine. That's good enough for a Void Spirit.
5 seconds remaining.
Beastmaster banned out. They're really just worried about this fast aggro kind of push setup, I suppose. I guess the Slardar ban is also like, it's annoying for the Ricky to play against. We don't have any way to dispel the haze, so kind of annoying. What's it gonna be, Boom? What are you worried about? Just gonna get rid of the co-op. Okay, well, if they wanted something like this, I mean, there's still a puck and stuff in the pool. But I don't think that that's where we're going. I guess we'll just have to see.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Silence.
Oh, wait. Who's playing this silencer? What is going on here? Is March playing silencer, or is Abed playing silencer, or is Abed playing Lena and
10
Kuku is
remaining.
playing Magnus and March is playing True? No, March is playing
5
silencer
seconds
and
remaining.
Xepher is playing Tree? What is this silencer pick about? I don't know if I really get it. It is certainly annoying for the Batrider. Batrider does not like playing into silencer. The global sucks. The arcane curse also sucks when your spells are so spammy, and Boom, very low on time, are just gonna end up going for the Venomancer, which is also not really a frontliner. I just don't know about the way that Boom have closed out this strat. I guess Veno can kind of build to tank up a little bit. Okay, yeah, all right. So it is just going to be Among Us kind of using the flex that they had this whole time to go March Silencer. Oh, it's actually Abed Magnus, and it's a Kuku Lena. Okay, so they're playing Lena Treant in the off lane. Interesting. Boom haven't even locked in a single hero. I think they're desperately trying to figure out, like, do we need to put our lanes in a different way here? Does Batrider have to go mid? Like, can we not put the Batrider against the silencer? Maybe we need to go. Yeah, okay. So yeah. So they've seen the picks, and they're going to send Veno off lane instead, and Mikoto is going to go play mid against the Magnus. This is something that people have talked about in the past, that you shouldn't be able to see any of the enemy team's selections before you make all of your selections, just to kind of avoid this sort of weird standoff situation. You know, this situation where, like, Among Us could have also just not locked in their heroes, and then we could have just sat here until we get to like the very last second, and everybody is kind of forced into it. But yeah, this is an interesting one. I have so many concerns for Boom with having no front line. They're up against some pretty good initiation with the Treant Protector and the Magnus. And sure, they've got a little save from the Shadow Demon, but to me it feels like once the Among Us heroes are on top of you, I think you're just all dead. Like, none of you are particularly tanky, so unless they're getting the jump every single time, I'm kind of worried for them. Anyway, let's get to it. The only way to know is to actually play out the game and what happens. Let's get to it. We are here in the Monster Energy Dota Summit 13 SEA group stages, and this is game 2 of Boom versus Among Us. If you missed the first game, Among Us kind of bringing it back from a pretty big deficit against Boom, going for a Lycan plus a TA. They were hitting their timings, doing really, really well, and then they were even up 2 lanes of racks, and all of a sudden just sort of lost 2 or 3 fights in a row, and that was the end of that. Among Us knocking them down for that first game. So, I mean, March definitely looks like he's expecting to be trying to play against the Bat Rider, but again, I don't think that's what's happening here. Stick probably still useful against the Veno if he's going to go for any kind of a Plague Ward setup. But they are actually opting for what looks like the double ranged hero in the off lane. So doing the same kind of, well, I guess it's, it still actually is, it's Khezcute playing the Clockwork, and it is still Hyde playing the Shadow Demon. So they've still got their position 4 player on the position 4, and their position 5 player on the position 5, but this does seem like a decent way to fight up against this Among Us offlane. I kind of like that the Lina is a core this game. It means that she's not going to be quite so susceptible to the Clockwork, and can still get a relatively fast Yules, but maybe get a Force Staff if she needs it. And the burst damage seems kind of scary. So 2/2 Bounty Rune, nothing too interesting. Mid lane for Abed, he's already prepped with his magic stick, so he knows exactly what the matchup is going to be here. I'm going to try and get in some pretty quick boots of speed. I think both of these heroes farm pretty well here. The mag can just kind of spam the wave and then just go hit up the jungle. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, really. We'll just have to see how this top lane ends up going. Do have plenty of regen on the Riki. And that's what I'm kind of worried about here, is that just, FBZ and Hyde are just going to get poked down by the Silencer and then just committed on by the Riki. The disruption can kind of help them out a little bit. Khezcute started with the Quelling Blade, so he's just doing a little bit of lumberjacking down here to make life harder for Xepher.
Dire's courier.
Where's March off to? Hello? Zephyr's courier dead. Kuku kind of committing to this fight. Xepher just walking forward. Nice deny from Dreamocel. Abed having to take a step back. His boots are coming out on the courier right this second. March, I don't know if he was looking for a pull there or what the situation was, but at it, big camp's being blocked out, so there's no side pull opportunity there for Hyde, who just continues to put on pressure with the poison. It's working pretty nicely. March gonna have to take a moment to salve up shortly. At bottom, Xepher dead. Khezcute gonna be picking that one up, and Boom very happy with the way that this lane is starting out for their Drow Ranger.
That
extremely important that they just get the Drow some good farm, get her parked in the jungle, grabbing some items, and then able to just keep the pace going this game. Because if Riki gets time to farm with the Empower, I think they're just kind of donezo, but so long as they can keep the Drow Ranger farmed and they can keep the pace going. Both games, Boom have put themselves in the driver's seat in terms of having to make the plays. Inyourdream not going to be going for an Orb of Venom or anything here, just picking up a couple of Wraith Bands out of the gate. So not going to be the easiest to get the chase down for them, but at least they have a little bit of a slow from the Arcane Curse. Inyourdream jumping forward, just wanted that creep. Now pressure onto FBZ, does have the tricks. Actually manages to dodge the Gale, I believe. but doesn't want to keep on pressuring. Doesn't feel like they can quite get that kill, so FBZ will just be able to heal up with the salve. I don't really know what the Venomancer pick is for necessarily. Like, it is a little bit more vision. March gets disrupted, and he's just going to go for the TP out. He is TPing back to the tier 1, however, and they know this. There's an observer ward here for some vision. I wonder if March realized when the illusion still kept chasing him that maybe they still had vision over him, but it's a long while until this courier is going to come out, so not a whole lot that he can do. And actually, Drow, I said that she was doing okay. I didn't realize that Dreamocel only had 4 CS. This is feeling kind of reminiscent of that Morphling game that he played yesterday. I don't even know what's been going on. Surely he hasn't been this zoned out of the wave. I know the Drow is not the easiest hero to CS on, but what is this about? Let's watch for a little bit here. The Frost Arrows give you some bonus damage as well. Alright, we just barely got that one, almost missed it to the range creep. 4-minute rune is going to be double damage snagged up by Abed. Pretty important that he sneaks that away from Mikoto. Hyde has been stacking a little bit with the poison while all this has been happening, and FBZ does seem to be going back for a little bit more of a Plague Wards build here on the Venomancer. But yeah, Dreamocel really not having a fun time. 2 points in the Leech Seed for xepher. A little bit unusual, but I guess really looking for those dives. The slow on Nature's Grasp does not scale particularly well, and xepher actually finding him here. Dreamocel locked down Kuku. Can he land the stun? He does manage to do so, and Dreamocel looking like he's going to be going down for the first time here. Now they just turn their attention back over towards Khezcute. Going to drag this wave up into the neutrals. Maybe get a little bit of free damage onto the tower. Well, yeah, this cannot be happening to your Drow Ranger this game. Something gonna have to do something. Khezcute's got good levels, and he's gonna have even better levels after he takes this kind of this full wave under the tower. But the Clockwork is level 4.5, and Drow isn't even level 4 just yet. I do not know what has happened down here at bottom, but it has not been good. Maybe he just needed to go for boots a little faster. This build seems very vulnerable to Treant just kind of walking up and whomping you, and that's what xepher is on the way to do right now. Yeah, Khezcute's doing his best to zone back, but Kuku seems to be CSing very well. Already level 5. Mid lane, you know, Abed just kind of off hitting some neutral creeps. Not too interested. Ooh, can he get that stack with that shockwave? Looks like he can. Very nice. March getting stacked up. He's looking very dead. Hyde trying to finish him off. This Arcane Curse is pretty painful, so Hyde just gonna have to TP out. xepher still waiting. Spots Dreamocel. The bodyguard is not there. Where's your entourage, Dreamocel? xepher is just gonna send him back. He doesn't have boots, and xepher does, so he can just keep chasing him. I don't think there's anything stopping him here. Gonna try and come back into the lane. He's got the Leech Seed again in a second. I don't know if you can play around like this, Dreamocel. And this catapult is actually doing a huge amount of damage to the tier 1 tower 6 minutes in. They're trying to bring down Mikoto to do something about this, but there's an observer with scouting him, so they're just gonna try and go for the Bat Rider first. Stun connects onto him. A couple of auto attacks coming through. Mikoto does have the lasso, but March still laying in with the auto attacks. At least they've got the Gust. Kuku, can he finish the job? Mikoto's surviving, but looks like the Arcane Curse might tick him out. 2 for 1 thus far. March still fighting. Hyde also coming in here to try and put an end to this push. But the tower has lost % of its HP. And from that rotation now, Abed's catapult is shredding the mid-tier 1.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
At least they're getting some good value out of their own catapult at top. FBZ with these 3 points up in the Plague Wards is doing some work here against inyourdream. But Drow Ranger still only has 15 CS. This is not looking good. And I guess feeling forced into skilling up the Gust with the pressure that's been happening down here. So he's not going to have the maxed out multi-shot for a little while. And yeah, I don't know where the farm's going to come from. Just going to have to wait and see. Abed going for an Echo Saber. No big surprise there. And xepher, if he gets some levels, he can actually just start healing up this tower again. So the fact that they've taken some damage here is not nearly as significant as the fact that these other towers have almost died. And Mikoto getting gone on at mid, RP'd into a follow-up stun from Kuku. Not expecting the Lina to be here, but making great early use of this Laguna Blade. And Boom, where are the plays going to happen? I think they need to send more heroes top and actually finish off this tower. And that seems to kind of be the plan. Dreamocel already rotating up here. Doesn't really want to be in his own safe lane anymore. Batrider going for the greedy build with the Boots of Travel, but these couple of deaths really going to set him back. And, well, at least they're going to get this tower. He's going to get the last hit, though. Give it to the Drow. He needs it. Dreamocel, please. Boots go in your backpack. Oh, boots go in your inventory, not your backpack.
Is under attack.
Put him on. And March just doing a little bit of stacking. Has anyone cleared this stack that Abed made earlier? No, not yet. He's also doing some stacking.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Grabbing some more farm as they continue pushing over at bottom. I imagine that inyourdream is just going to go for the defusal rush here. Doesn't really seem like there's any motivation to go for anything else. Maybe he'll go for a Manta at some point. But yeah, alright. Defusal rush coming up. I think he's got treads coming out on the curve. Kuku, what are you going for? Just picking up a bracer and a wand, tanking up a little bit more. And xepher is now the custodian of the top lane. He'll be keeping an eye on things. FBZ, well, we've already seen the full plan for him. He's going Force Staff and Boots of Travel. They trying to play some kind of like rat Dota game here, something ill-fated against the Riki and the Magnus to try and play like super split and play on the side lanes. I'm down with the Force Staff. I think they definitely need some Force Staffs to get people out of the smoke screen, but double Boots of Travel just seems like you're giving the enemy team, who to my mind has the much better late game, way too much space to farm and just get their items. Like each BOT is basically giving, you know, Among Us like a whole free item on one of their other heroes, and they are making great use of the map currently. Still a little bit behind on the net worth, but once they clear out all of these stacks, I think that story is going to change. And at least the hyde has also been setting up some stacks for the Drow Rangers. So Dreamocel, you wouldn't know it looking at his net worth now, that he had not such a great start to the lane. xepher, well, they popped the ultimate for that, but couldn't find an angle for Khezcute to get in with the hook shot, so he just TP's away. Didn't even TP all the way back, just TP to the tier 2 and straight back to his custodial duties. He takes his job very seriously.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, BOTs are up. Hyde just going to be going for an Aether Lens. Pretty happy with his Keen Optic. I hear a lasso coming out, but there's a global. And inyourdream is going to look for the jump away to March, who is now going to hold the high ground. There's still a hook shot though from Khezcute, and they will be able to finish off his kill. Actually, inyourdream still kind of escaping. The dust is lasting a little while longer though, and there's just too much long-range artillery. Now March also looking like he should get chased down, and yeah, with the disruption. Even if he tried for a TP, they still have the cogs to interrupt, and Boom will happily claim both of those kills. Kuku is just going for a mech, interestingly, on his Lina. xepher just farming away. And okay, that kind of sucks for the Riki. They definitely did not want that kind of death for him at this stage. Khezcute coming in to say hello, but gets skewered straight back into the waiting arms of the Lina, and he's just going to be a free kill. I don't even really know why he's here. He does have some wards, but you know, there's no bounty runes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not really anything interesting for him to be doing over here, and with the maxed out in power, inyourdream is just farming away. It's going to be a very different Riki game. Riki is a very different hero with Empower compared to not having it. It's just, given how god-awful your flash farm is without cleave, I think this is going to prove to be a very significant difference for him. Trying to go for the TP up here at top. xepher trying to TP out, but that immediately gets interrupted. So being very dead. may have just come out a little bit too far while pushing this top lane. And with him dead, it does seem like Boom keen to make some incursions over into the Among Us jungle, or at the very least putting some more pressure here on the mid tower. We do have the Dragonlance picked up for the Drow Ranger. Dreamocel is going to be going for the full pike early on here.
Dire's middle tower is under
Kuku not
attack.
even really able to get in there close enough to clear out the wave, so... Among Us, all they can do is just sit and wait and try and grab up a few more items. Once they get the blink on Abed, maybe that presents a little bit more of an opportunity. And definitely still wanting this diffusal on the Riki before they try and make it happen.
Radiant's bottom tower
Kuku
is
doesn't
under
have
attack.
that to speak of, so really don't think that they're looking for a fight currently. Seem content to just keep farming. Unfortunately, inyourdream hasn't been close to the Magnus for a little bit, so it hasn't really been benefiting from that empower in the last little bit.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Mikoto actually almost back into the blink dagger here, so initiation for Boom going to be there just that little bit earlier than what Among Us have been able to muster. Xepher hasn't shown us what item he's going to be going for just yet. I'm not a huge fan. Your hammer this game seems like a pretty good game to just get a 4-staff or
Dire's top
blink
tower
dagger.
is under attack.
We'll see what he wants to opt for. He has, so he went for the 2 points in Grasp and Leech Seed early on, but now seems to just be going back for the maxed out living armor, and I think that's definitely going to be pretty instrumental in them trying to hold on to these remaining towers and just stalling out the game until they've got 3-4 slotted Magnus, 3-4 slotted Riki. At that point, things should get pretty easy, but you know, we'll just have to see. There's still pick-off potential from Boom and some really nice push potential going along with that. And FBZ still finding great farm. Boom, what is the play? So this is what they see. They've got two, a little bit of redundancy here among these two wards, but they've got some deep vision. They would definitely like something over in the triangle or, you know, over somewhere here where these Among Us heroes are going to be farming. Does seem to be the point of this incursion here. Just wanting to use the blink for the first time, maybe grab a couple of bounty runes for themselves. Among Us playing very grouped up. They do have their blink on the Magnus and the diffusal on the Riki, so they've also got a timing that they're looking to make use of, and they've actually got a great ward up on this high ground which hasn't been dealt with. So they see Mikoto, they know that there's some other heroes over here. They do get revealed. Xepher actually going to get gone on first, but they've jumped straight into the back lines, gone for Khezcute. Inyourdream looking for a little bit more. The global silence helping to protect him, but now here comes Mikoto. Last second lasso into the gust as well. Nowhere for Inyourdream to go, just walking forward towards the Drow. Trouble for March as he's now going to be forced to TP away, and well, Among Us were the aggressors, but Inyourdream going in a little bit too deep, and will end up paying the price. Boom going to be super happy with that trade. They took down the enemy carry and only lost their position 5. Looks like they are about to lose this mid tower. Might be able to deny it. There's some pings coming through. Okay, yeah. Nicely timed glyph. Should be able to get the deny and get that little bit of gold for their team. Abed itching to use the RP, but really see a good opportunity in that previous fight. Is he getting spotted here? Ooh, trying for the steer away. All right, got disrupted at the same time. Hook shot as Xepher is kind of out in no man's land here. That'll be a quick kill. Abed won't really be able to get back over. Still a few seconds to go until the blink cools down. Xepher might be able to get denied. Not going to happen, but still a 1-for-1 trade thus far. And into the backlines, they find FBZ. His 4-staff actually on cooldown, but unfortunately Inyourdream didn't have the blink strike for another 3 seconds, so couldn't finish off the kill. Just going to be the melee support for melee support. Top lane, Dreamocel pushing up against this tier 2 tower. Really looking for more is Among Us. Here's the lasso. Mikoto actually able to get a little bit further back with the illusion rune, hitting the dispel there. Now they're chasing for more. Inyourdream in danger. Manages to jump away with the trick. Second blink strike, but it's too much damage for Dreamocel as suddenly he pops all the way to #1 on net worth. All is forgiven. All is forgotten. As Drow grabs himself a triple kill. And we're going to have a pause for good measure. And still no RP. Among Us just have not kind of found the right structure to the team fight that they've been hoping for. And I guess they just were not expecting that Batrider was going to be sitting right here as they made their move in. Kuku was very far forward. I think they need to chill until this next global, realistically. And they're now actually down by 5k, so they kind of got their item timing, and they've been trying to make a play ever since, and both of those plays have just kind of blown up in their face and gotten cores killed only for supports. So that's really hitting them hard on the bottom line. Dreamocel, I think he only just picked up the pike when he went top, and now he's already got the blade flying out to him. And the pauses have been nice and fast, both yesterday and today, so it looks like we're going to get back into this. Who can complain? Maybe not. Maybe we still need to be paused a little longer. Caster Curse is a real thing. Okay, so Xepher is just going for the blink once that secondary initiation, along with the Magnus. They really need to just get in and lock down the Drow Ranger if at all possible. Ricky already thinking about an Ags, which is kind of interesting. Could be a cute idea this game with the 2 blink heroes kind of going in, making plays. Abed's gonna go for the BKB. I still don't know if the BKB really guarantees the RP is the only problem. Zephyr's trying to hang on to this top tower, but Mikoto is hot on his heels. Doesn't have a whole lot of Firefly left.
Dire's top tower is under
With
attack.
all 5 boom heroes and Dreamocel hitting from the high ground, I don't think that there's really any way to stop this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Have they grabbed all their
Dire's
neutral
top
items yet?
tower
Did they get?
is under attack.
No, they haven't grabbed any.
Has fallen.
Any tier 2s. This is what they want. That's the Grove bow that the Drow Ranger is definitely looking for, but maybe not quite on the right side.
Double damage.
Dragon Scale, it's pretty nice. Magnus might end up grabbing that. Guess left. Zephyr still in charge of the top lane. Khezcute just going to be going for a Force Staff. March is going for a Veil. Alright, I mean, they do have quite a lot of magical damage. I don't hate it. He's got the 4 points in the Arcane Curse. Either team have...
Radiant's bottom tower.
So I have to say,
is
does either
under
team have
attack.
particularly good Roshan taking potential? Boom have good damage, but they don't really have that much sustain for it. But looks like they are going to try for it anyway. Sauntering on in here. And with the Frost Arrows, they're kiting the Roshan pretty effectively.
Dire,
Dire Scan reveals that this is going on. Do they have any vision in the area? They do not, and nobody really seems to be making any kind of a move. Seemingly content, just knowing that it's happening. They do have these illusions to tank, so that's helping out a little bit. Are they giving the Aegis to the Bat Rider? Made room for it. Yeah, Dreamocel's putting the branch back in his inventory, so
Radiant's bottom
there's going to be
tower is under
Mikoto
attack.
Bat with the Aegis, and just have to see what kind of play that they can make here. Already some pings going over, wanting to invade the triangle. They see Kuku for a moment. They're just gonna head straight in there. Yeah, smoke breaks. Mikoto takes to the skies, looking for it, pops the dust. It's just gonna be Zephyr for now. In Your Dream comes over. Global Silence getting popped. They want to take this fight. Abed can't find the positioning for an RP just yet, though. Moving closer, drops the RP, but it's only onto 1. They drag Hyde back in, into a nice stun from Kuku. Buyback as well. Among Us really committing for this fight. FKZ wanted that bounty room, but that separated him a little bit from his team. Abed trying to find the escape, but his skewer is still on cooldown for now, as he tries for the TP, but he's going to the tier 1. Actually just ends up canceling it as he gets flame breaked up onto the high ground. Looks like that'll be the end of him. If he had TP'd anywhere else, I think he would have survived, but his team kind of messing him up. TPing to the tier 1 earlier in that fight. They will manage to claim the Aegis on the Bat Riders. So not a total loss, but with a dieback on the tree, and that was definitely not what Among Us were hoping for as the outcome from that fight. At least In Your Dream survives, but that was an expensive one. Kuku just kind of getting caught out here. Mikoto finds him. In Your Dream going to try for the turnaround. Mikoto's still pretty tanky. Kuku doesn't manage to get all of his spells up. He still had the Laguna, but couldn't use it. Now they get the disruption. Those illusions are going to be very annoying for In Your Dream. He can't even get the blink away. He's just getting kited around the tree line. So they have the detection for him. Tricks. He did actually manage to dodge that flame break, but still will be brought down in the end. Is he just on the edge of the sentry the entire time? I don't think he was dusted. Anyway, well, 2 cores dead, and Boom just going from strength to strength. Didn't get a ton of value out of the Aegis, but now that RP and Global are both on cooldown, easily able to just keep on making some plays. They've even got another lasso, so if they spot somebody,
Dire's middle tower is
very
under
easy
attack.
pickoffs for them. Khezcute is, I don't know what Khezcute is doing. He's just elsewhere on the map trying to finish up some items, but can probably come and join the team in a moment.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dreamocel's almost got the full Manta. Manta progress for this Riki has been painfully slow. I talked it up that he was going to get all of this farm with the Empower, but it just hasn't happened. Doesn't seem like they found the opportunity here on Among Us. I also thought, hey, Corlina is going to get some good farm and have the items that she needs to survive. Also, nope. Not particularly rich, and yeah, Boom, even without the front line, seemed to be doing just fine off of the Batrider and Clockwork initiations. And as much as high ground is a different story, if you're far enough ahead, I think Boom can just choke out the map and kind of go from there. Did they end up finding Grove Bow? Wait. They have Grove Bow, but Drow isn't using it? Hello? What's happening over here? It's a team fight. Stop talking about neutral items. Mikoto is going to get caught out, brought down. inyourdream jumping forward to finish him off, but looks like he might actually be dead. No, there's no more tick damage to finish him off now. Hyde treating up under the high ground. FBZ kind of closing off the path as well. Kuku's not there. Just wants to deal with the mid wave, so will only be the one pick off. They get eyes on March, who very quickly retreats into the trees. Hookshot going to be a little bit off the money. I think he actually juked it by just standing completely still once he got into the tree line, and then able to TP out afterwards. But is this really that good? Like a bit of spell lifesteal and... Surely not. Surely you take the Grove Bow. Alright, whatever. We'll see what happens. Maybe he just wants the sustain for now to just keep farming the jungle.
Middle tower is under attack.
We've got BKB for Abed. Is going to be going for an Abyssal Blade next. I thought maybe AC would be on the cards, but not going to be the choice. inyourdream is actually just kind of scouting for now, not really finding a whole lot of farm. They're leaving the side lane push to Kuku, who is getting close to his Yules. And Abed kind of showing it mid. Does need to be a little careful. Khezcute is here. BKB is going to help out a little bit, and inyourdream actually going to find himself damage. I don't believe he's been spotted over here.
Dire's middle tower is under
But it
attack.
doesn't really seem like Among Us are keen on taking a fight. xepher just trying to finish out this last creep wave to grab his Blink Dagger. And it does seem like they're going to be setting their sights on a little bit more of a high ground defense. March is going for an Ags.
Dire's middle
He's actually got
tower has
the,
fallen.
the blessing queued up as well. Okay, sure. Alright. I got some bounties in a second. Okay, I was about to say that we almost had BKB on the Batrider, but not so. I tell a lie.
I'll take that.
2 bounties apiece. Roshan potentially up in about 2 minutes time. Khezcute still just working on a mech. FBZ, kind of an eclectic set of items for him. He did not end up going for the Boots of Travel, fortunately, but does just have Force Staff, Lotus, and now going to be going for an Atos as well. Mikoto is the target here at mid. They've got the double blink. They've got the vision on the high ground. They don't really want Khezcute, but looks like they are going to settle for him. He gets out a little further with the Force Staff, but it's not going to save him.
Dead on the dotted line.
So they are able to keep on chasing here. Do they still have more vision? No, they don't see anything else. Just gonna have to leave it for now. Kuku actually not even opting for the Yules in the end. Those just end up grabbing the Aether Lens for that little bit of extra reach. And boom, even with their Clockwork Death, thinking about taking a fight, they're gonna go on inyourdream first. There is gonna be a global to counter initiate, but Dreamocel just gets out immediately with the Mantis, starts dishing out the damage, and that is more than enough for them to finish that kill. And now with no global, they do have an invis on the Magnus. Maybe Abed can find a big opportunity here. Heading over towards Xepher. Got to be careful of any detection. Trying to group them up. Kuku's the first one found. Not the best target. Khezcute actually with a little bit of a pincer. This fight's getting scrappy and doesn't look like there's a real opportunity for Magnus to do anything. They just end up losing one more core. Xepher is sweating. I mean, he's got a sentry plus an obs, so if they put down a sentry, he might be able to blink away in time, but not the most relaxing moment for him. Things would be looking a lot more reasonable if their Riki had a bit more farm, but doesn't really seem to have enough currently. In your dream, sort of pincering. They know that Dreamocel's down here.
Radiant
March also coming over. Xepher trying to find the scouting here. They're going to spot him. Dreamocel, he's got the Manta. That's going to help a little bit. Xepher going to blink on top of him now with the overgrowth, though. Defensive disruption from Hyde. More heroes coming in to help. And now it's actually a decent turnaround from Boom. They just had too many numbers. In Your Dream is dead yet again, and Xepher might not even be able to escape. He's been dusted. Mikoto is hot on his heels, and that is just going to be 3 kills for Boom. Dreamocel picking up another double kill. And 23-9 Among Us. Sure, they've got some high ground defense, but it's just getting to the point where it feels like they're not going to have enough damage. The Drow continuing to tank up, just going for the BKB now. FBZ is rocking a broom handle. Okay, I'm gonna... I suppose the 3 armor is nice. I still don't know if I'm 100% on board with some of this, the neutral iteming that is going on here, but seems to be working for Dreamocel. And maybe they just want the extra vision as well, somewhere on the team. Does seem pretty handy. Oh, Abed kind of popping everything. Wants Mikoto, does have an RP. Khezcute looking for the turnaround. Abed's popped the BKB here. In Your Dream running up, trying to find a kill. Hyde is looking to come in from the other side. Let's get the disruption out. Global also going to end up being popped too. They really better get the Shadow Demon kill. But Hyde already down in the river, and now with that used, Dreamocel just able to stand his ground against Kuku and just maul him to death. At least they get the Laguna Blade up, but Makoto's still surviving. Abed next in the chopping block. Dreamocel beyond godlike from 0 to hero this game. Miserable start, but stuck the landing 100% and seems to now just be leading his team to victory. Mikoto also playing fantastically on this Batrider, and high ground defense not really going to amount to much if they don't have the Magnus. He's such a huge portion of their net worth at this stage.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And In Your Dream desperately going off to try and find a little bit of farm somewhere, but I do not see this siege ending anytime soon. There's no glyph either, and Boom should just be able to keep on going. They're even looking for Xepher over here, but he's in a pretty defensive position. March walks way too far forward. I'm saying that he is underneath his tier 4s, but against the bat and against the extra vision from the Vampire Fangs at night, nowhere is safe. I doubted, but Dreamocel has shown me the way. Roshan's up as well. Aegis and Cheese to be claimed there. Just as before, get some illusions to tank it up. FBZ constantly applying pressure in the side lanes. Seems to be his MO, really, as an offlaner, just between the timber and whatnot. Very much just all about this side lane pressure. Creating space for the rest of the team to play in. Not very initiation focused at all. With this, Aegis on the Drow Ranger. I was worried a little bit about the survivability for them, but turns out a good offense was being the best defense for Boom. And an immediate smoke, just gonna go grab this bounty, maybe a couple of items quickly. Should be able to head out and make some more plays. Among Us, grouped up, looking for the fight. They do have the Manta on the Riki now, but In Your Dream, a measly level 15. Actually below the level of a bunch of his supports. Mikoto gonna pop the BKB, doesn't want the lasso on the silencer. It's actually gonna get overgrowth. March now pops the global, but they're not even committing for the fight. Abed trying to skewer forward into a good position to get an RP off. Doesn't really find the opportunity. Still waiting, still waiting. Khezcute gonna make life a little bit more difficult for him. In Your Dream's getting gone on. They get the lasso on the Magnus. At least the Riki's still surviving, but In Your Dream is super low. Dreamocel just completely cleaning house with the auto attacks. GG's already been called, so Abed's having a little bit of fun in the last moments here. But they never found that actual team fight, putting the tree and the Magnus and the Riki together, getting up in the Drow's face, and Boom will be walking away with the win. We had a lot of 1-1s yesterday. We're starting off with that trend as well today here in the Monster Energy Dota Summit 13.